Welcome to ANS Solver question 6 of this paper. So for part A1 they are asking you to use the cumulative frequency diagram to find an estimate for the following. So the first one is the median. So median is always halfway of the cumulative frequency or half the cumulative frequency. So that will be the term number. Then you draw a horizontal line and match it to the cumulative frequency diagram. So in this case, since the cumulative frequency is 200, the total, so the median would be at 100. So what you do is at 100 you draw a horizontal line with a pencil and a ruler, and where it intersects the graph you draw a perpendicular line to that point. That is right here. So this line intersects the x-axis at 34 minutes. So that is 31, 32, 34. So your final answer for part A1 will be 34 minutes. Now for part A2 they are asking us to find the interquartile range. For the interquartile range we need two values, that is the upper quartile and the lower quartile. So for the lower quartile all you need to do is simply divide the cumulative frequency by 4, the total by 4. So in this case 200 divided by 4 is 50. So 50 on the cumulative frequency axis, that is the y-axis, comes right here. So you draw a horizontal line till it intersects the cumulative frequency diagram, and you drop a perpendicular line where it intersects the diagram. So, and you see where this line intersects the x-axis. So that intersects the x-axis at exactly 25. So that will be a lower quartile. So your interquartile range is basically upper quartile minus lower quartile. So you write it like this. Now let's find the upper quartile. So the upper quartile would be 3 times so that would be basically for a normal upper quartile it would be the 75th percentage of the total. So 75% of 200 will be 150. So therefore 150, so 150 comes here on the graph. So you draw a horizontal line with a pencil and a ruler again. For anything related to graph or sketching, you draw with a pencil and a ruler. So this is the horizontal line, and you draw a perpendicular line to where it intersects the graph. So it intersects the graph at 43 minutes. So 43 minus 25 is equal to 18, and therefore 18 will be your interquartile range, 18 minutes. Now let's move to part A3. So for part A3 they are asking us to find the number of students who took more than 40 minutes. So for this part of the question you work in the opposite way. So more than 40 minutes. So 40 minutes is on the x-axis, so you draw a vertical line on the x-axis or from the x-axis at 40, that is right here. Again use a pencil and a ruler. So at 40, and where it intersects the graph you draw a horizontal line at that point. Okay, so this intersects the y-axis at 140 at the 140 mark. So the remaining part, so because they are asking what is greater, so 200 minus 140 will be 60 students. So therefore 60 will be our final answer for part A3. Now let's move to part B. So for part B they are asking us to find the range for part B1. So range is the biggest value minus the smallest value. So the biggest value is 50 and the smallest value is 1. So 50 minus 1 is equal to 49. Now let's move to part B2, where they are asking us to find the mode. Now mode in these types of tables is very easy. So whichever value has the highest frequency, that will be the mode. So in this case the highest frequency is 4. So you see the corresponding x value in this case, which is 20, and therefore 20 will be your final answer for part B2. Now let's move to part B3, where they are asking us to find the median of this answer, or not the answer of the data that they've given. So the median, to use the formula, is basically you take the total of the frequency and divide it by 2. You add 1 and divide by 2 to find the position of the median. So in this case there are a total of 15 coins, you could say. So 15 plus 1 divided by 2 is equal to 16 by 2, which is 8. So therefore the 8th position will be your median. So the first value where 1 cent coins covers only 3 coins. So like that you have to find where the 8th coin lies. So 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 3 is 7. Now till the 5 cents coins, you've only reached 7, so it can't be in the 1 cent coin, 2 cent coin or 5 cent coin. But when you go to the 10 cent coin, you will reach 7 plus 2, which is 9, and your median is the 8th coin. So therefore your median will lie in this value, and you see the corresponding x value, which is 10 in this case. So your final answer will be 10 cents. This will be the 8th position. Now let's move to part B4, where they are asking us to work out the total value of Robert's coins. So all you need to do is multiply the value by the frequency. So 1 multiplied by 3 plus, and take the sum of it. So 2 multiplied by 1 is 2, 5 multiplied by 1 is 5 multiplied by 3 is 15, plus 10 multiplied by 2, which is 20, plus 20 multiplied by 4, which is 80, plus 50 multiplied by 2, which is 100. And now you simply take the sum of all these numbers. I'll just move this to the left a bit. Yeah. One second. Yeah, I'll just move this a bit to the left. Yeah. So now all you need to do is input this in your calculator. So 3 plus 2 plus 15 plus 20 plus 80 plus 100 is equal to 220. So that will be a total value of coins that Roberto has. Now they are asking us to work out the mean. So the formula of mean when there is frequency involved is summation fx divided by summation f. Now we have already found summation fx when they asked us to find the total value of Robert's coins. So all we need to do is divide that total by the total number of coins, which is 15 in this case. So 220 divided by 15 is equal to 14.666 recurring. So now since we need to give our final answer in 3 significant figures, our final answer will be 14.7 cents, because the 4th significant figure in this case, which is 6, is greater than or equal to 5. So it will round off the 6 to the next number. Therefore 14.7 will be a final answer for part B5. Now let's move to part C. So for part C, they are asking us to calculate and estimate mean. So whenever you're calculating mean with frequency, again you need to use the formula summation fx divided by summation f. So let's find the frequencies first. So the frequency is equal to frequency density multiplied by the class width. So we can find all the frequencies class width. Okay, so simply all you need to do is 3 multiplied by 10, 8 multiplied by 5, and 15 multiplied by 2. So you will get the 3 frequencies. So that is 3 multiplied by 10, which is 30, plus 5 multiplied by 8, which is 40, plus 15 multiplied by 2, which is 30. Now this is only your frequency that you have found. You need to find the x values as well, because you need to multiply it with the frequency. So the x value would be the midpoint of the class interval, because whenever we find the x, we have to use one value. We can't use a range of values. So the class width for so the first frequency that we found is 30 is 0 to 10. So the midpoint of that would be 5. So to find the midpoint, all you need to do is add the two ends of the range, the class width, and divide by 2. So 0 plus 10, which is 10, divided by 2. Like that you do for the rest of the frequencies as well. So to find the x value for the 40 frequency part, that is the longer bar or the histogram. So the longer part, to find the x value of that, all you do is 15 plus 10. So 15 plus 10 is equal to 25 and divided by 2. So you'll be left with 12.5. Now you do the same thing for the last part as well. Now in this part, the class width is 30 plus 15, which is 45, and if you divide by 2, you'll be left with 22.5. So 30 multiplied by 22.5. So this will give you your values for summation fx, and then you simply divide this by the total frequency. So we found the three frequencies, that was 30 plus 40 plus 30. So now all you need to do is solve this. So therefore 30 multiplied by 5 is equal to 150, plus 40 multiplied by 12.5 is equal to 500, and 30 multiplied by 22.5 is equal to 675. So you add that as well, 675, and you divide it by the total of the denominator, that is summation f, that is 30 plus 30 plus 40, which is equal to 100. So now you just take the sum of the numerator and you divide it by 100. So 150 plus 500 plus 675 is equal to 1325, and therefore 1370, my bad, 1325. So 1325 divided by 100 will be equal to 13.25, and therefore this will be our final answer. 13.25 kgs will be our final answer for part C of this question.